I'm Matt Glenn.
I'm Matt Mounier.
You're watching 203K TV, where we're talking everything 203K and Fannie Mae HomeStyle. And today we're talking about the power of these renovation loans, just how awesome of a product they are.
And why we think they're the best product out there if you are planning on doing any renovations or remodels to your property.
Absolutely. So we'll start just by giving you the alternatives. So you buy this home in here in San Diego or other parts of the country. Real estate's really expensive.
Yeah.
You're using the majority of the money that you have to get your foot in the door.
Right.
And so now your foot's in the door of this home, which isn't quite what you'd hoped, right? It's
Right.
not your dream home. There's some repairs to be done.
Yeah, and we see a lot of people kind of walking in and they kind of expect that, hey, you know, we're going to tackle all these projects one by one. We're going to do the bathroom first. We're going to do the kitchen a little bit later once we save up some more money.
Yeah.
But what really isn't realized is that the cost of living is going to go up when
Right.
you get yourself into a mortgage.
Their housing expense.
Yes.
Right? Because where they started with rent is typically not where they end with a mortgage.
Right.
It's typically a bump up just because the market is more expensive.
Yep.
So these people get in and all of a sudden they are experiencing that they don't have the savings that they thought they would because of this higher payment. Maybe they bought some furniture too
Yep.
to get in. And so these projects are going much slower than anticipated. So a lot of them then will turn to a credit card.
Right.
Right. And maybe you can get some 0%, introductory balances to start. But what happens is you start filling up this credit card debt and you start accumulating all of these monthly payments associated with it.
Right. And how are you going to get rid of this debt, really?
Yeah.
You know, you're opening up maybe $50,000, $100,000 in debt.
Yep.
How are you eventually going to get rid of all this debt?
Yep.
And what we see, or what people think that they can do, is that they can eventually refinance the equity that they've built into the property
Yep.
and basically consolidate the credit card debt with the mortgage that they have.
Yeah, yeah.
And the problem that they're running into is that when you're opening up lines of credit, you're no longer going through the vetting process that you would go through to get a mortgage.
Right.
So your debt to income ratio that you had qualified for a mortgage, now you have all of this debt
Associated with it. But not only that, you also have your credit score.
Yep.
Right. So your credit score, which used to be polished and perfect, is now taking a hit because you're more of a risk as a borrower because you've got you're so far extended
Yeah.
with all of this debt.
And the worst thing that can happen is that you no longer qualify. And
Right.
you've just stretched yourself too far.
Right. So now you've got 15 different payments for 15 different credit cards, and you can't refinance out of it. And then so maybe you look at a home equity line of credit. That's another shifting gears here.
Yeah.
Another option that people think, hey, I'll buy this home. Maybe I'll wait in a year or two, and then I'll open a home equity line of credit up right after it. The problem with the home equity line of credit is, one, getting access to it, because if you only put 5% down, there's not a lot of lenders willing to step in second position behind that.
Yep.
If you put 20% down, there's still not a lot of lenders willing to lend up to 85, 90, 95% of your loan to value.
Yeah.
So you can definitely run into issues getting access to the cash. But then even if you do get access to the cash, you're going to run into variable interest rates for
Right.
the most part that are higher than the 30-year fixed mortgage that you can get with one of these.
And if we're just going to keep
renovation
going
loans.
on the terms of these, they're adjustable rates.
Yep.
There is a interest-only period,
Yep.
but after that period, you're on a 20 or 10-year amortization schedule.
Correct.
So those payments that you had been maybe used to making, all of a sudden those are jumping up.
Yep.
And we see people, come through the door and they're like, hey, this is amortizing on me. I need to get out of this HELOC. I need to consolidate.
And
my
then
debt.
you look at their financial position and
Yep.
evaluate their position as you see it right now, as opposed to these home renovation loans where you get to look at their financial position right now and project on the future value of the property, which
Right.
is huge because when the shoe's on the other foot, what you're actually doing is looking at their picture right now and saying, whoa, these people are strapped for cash. We can't get them a loan. We can't
Yeah.
help them out. Okay, so we talked about ways that people try and go when they don't use a renovation loan.
Right.
We said credit cards, not the greatest, financially savvy move. We said home equity lines of credit. There's gifts,
Yeah.
right? I mean, if you have, some people out there do have family members willing to help them out and gift them. If that doesn't make Thanksgiving too uncomfortable, then, that'll work. And that's a great means. Anything else that I missed with ways we see?
Yeah, just one thing that I want to add and why we think that this home renovation loan is just awesome. You're not looking at the home value that it's currently at. So
Right.
when you are doing a normal refinance or any type of loan like that, they're looking at the value of the home right now in its
Right.
current state.
Right.
We look at the home after it's completely renovated.
Right, right.
So if your home is only worth, $500,000 right now, we don't use that value.
Yeah.
We're looking at your final appraised value once you've done all the renovations. So your access to cash is probably going to be a little bit more than if you are thinking of doing a home equity line of credit route per se.
Yep. We've told you why this home renovation loan is just an awesome product. If you have additional questions or you want to get started or you want to find out if you qualify, give us a call. We'll help you out.